Frequently, the movement side of health and physical education has a focus on preparing students to play games and sports. Alternatively, it has a focus on performance-related fitness. Sure, there are students in HPE that love sports and games. The most vocal are often fit, active, skilled participants who have been supported by parents, coaches, and their environment to engage with sport from a young age. There are others whose parents didn't value sport. They had no role models or someone to introduce them to sport. They didn't live in a place where they could access sport. They were marginalised in sport because of their race, size, disability, gender, or socioeconomic status. They highly valued other pursuits such as education, music, art, or even computer games. Or maybe they just had a bad experience with it. The question is, how do we engage them in a performance-focused HPE curriculum? In addition, while structured games and sports occupy significant attention, research tells us that games and sports make up only a fraction of a learner's overall physical activity, and these become even less important with age. So how do we teach the other stuff related to movement, the everyday things that make up a person's physically active life? The kinds of physical activity that people choose to participate in across their lifespan receive scant attention, partly because there is no clear approach to engage with it. It isn't exercise science, it isn't game sense, or it isn't motor skill learning. So how does an educator go about teaching walking to school, skating in the park, or swimming for pleasure, maybe playing pick-up basketball at lunchtime? How does HPE remain inclusive of, but extend beyond the narrow teaching of games and sports and the subordinate tactics and motor skills? How does HPE move beyond a narrow idea of physical activity that might focus on fitness testing or keeping kids active in class? To accommodate new curriculum ideas, HPE needs a broader frame that explores the everyday lives of people in a movement context that is relevant. Youth Action aims to broaden the scope of what HPE can achieve whilst engaging the sporty participants as well as those who have a different idea of what movement is. Youth Action, then, starts by targeting movements that are meaningful. For some, it will be about how they can increase their access to traditional sports, games and fitness activities. For others, it's about movement for utility, for transport, for socialising or for play. It draws on strengths to encourage students to become agents of change in their own physically active lives. Importantly, part of this journey is to acknowledge we don't have all the answers or full control. So Youth Action then involves reflection and exploration, questioning, collaboration, forming a plan, and collecting evidence to then see this put into action. To kick things off, learners go on a journey of discovery. To do this, they reflect on what movements are meaningful to them. The aim is to open up to different ways of considering movement, explore its feelings, its forces, and its context. By the end of this process, students are thinking more broadly about what movement is, where it happens, and how it makes them feel. In questioning, the aim is to identify issues that we think influence our capacity to move. We introduce learners to the tools they can use to collect information about their idea. There are many people who can help you refine issues. In this phase, we connect students to community collaborators from within or beyond the school. These people help to refine the issue and assist in planning. A good plan for action is needed to get change to occur. This is fed by looking beyond the individual needs. Collecting evidence is part of that process. Collecting some evidence is important to establish the significance of the issue and likely effectiveness of the plan. Here, learners interview, survey, and develop their findings. Learners finally have their ideas supported by collaboration and evidence. Now it's time to let the world know, or at least those who can help them make change. Stakeholders are called to action to enhance opportunities for physical activity. So Youth Action draws on ideas from critical inquiry, participatory action research, and authentic learning. Youth Action is about creating change makers who understand physical activity from different perspectives.